Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And today, whenever you happen to see this, I'm going to do an unboxing of my newest deck. I keep saying I'm going to slow down, but they keep showing up. So, this one is the Tree of Life Oracle deck by David Wells. I don't know if you've ever seen this one. I ran across my attention a while back, and I finally decided to pick it up, and it says on the back, drawings of the mystic Kabbalah, this oracle, drawing on the mystic traditions of Kabbalah, this oracle will help you learn more about the nature of the universe, yourself, connecting with your soul to fulfill your purpose. The Tree of Life is rich with symbolism, and these symbols from astrology, tarot, and alchemy are reproduced through the cards. Use these mystical cards to gain a greater understanding of the path ahead. And I was looking, when I first saw it online, I started glancing through the images, and I was like, sold. Because the Tree of Life, if you've ever studied Crowley or Israel Regardie, the Golden Dawn, the Tree of Life is very, very heavy in that department. And so because it's a pathway of the soul, there's 10/11 Sephiroth is the whole name. Interesting how that plays out. And it's literally a pathway from Earth with Malkuth to heaven with Kether. And the 11th is a Sephira that's there but not. And that's the beauty of it, because it's a pathway that you have to go through to achieve the higher levels. And some people would equivalent it to the Dark Night of the Soul. This is a lot more intense than that when you go through the Kabbalah, because that level, it's not just a Dark Night of the Soul, it's an interesting experience, we'll just put it that way, but it's not as simple as Dark Night. So I was kind of interested in these because of the symbology that goes along with it. Like, this one is just the basic Tree of Life symbol. That's what it says, Tree of Life. And then there's this one has a vague, I'm not sure if it'll show up here. It's the middle pillar. It's that clear line right here up the center. And then we go into the pillar of severity, which is severity, courage, and form on that side. And then we have the pillar of mercy on the other. And mercy covers grace, peace, and love. And these are all aspects of the human psyche and human condition, and they also have attributes to the rest of the body as well. You have the spiritual triangle at top, divinity, creation, and manifestation, top 3. And then we've got the middle 3, which is the soul triangle, mystical, soul-led, and harmony. And even in the Golden Dawn, the way they've got their setup and the intensity of what they do, most people don't get out of the mystic triangle, because and it's not anything knocking on anybody. That's such an intense state that it's not easy to move beyond that. There will be people that argue that, oh no, I've moved beyond it. If you did, you wouldn't talk about it because it's not a bragging thing. The personality triangle, which is where most spiritual people start and they kind of hang out there for a while. Personality, nature, and mindfulness. You have to become aware of yourself before you can move beyond, and that's where those start out. And then we go into the different elements within this deck, which these are beautiful elements, energies. I'm not going to show all of them, but it was the imagery like this that caught my attention. Earth, air, fire, water. Like, those are some intense colors. And then we go into the different Sephiras. Kether, Shakma, Bina, Chesed, Gabora, Tifereth, Netzach, Had, Yesod, and Malkuth. Malkuth is the earth. That's the kingdom of earth. Earth manifestation, being here and now. When you start on your path, you always start at Malkuth. There's not another way to start. You start there because that's where you're at the moment. You're on earth. To start to work up through, you have to develop and learn basic mastery of the 4 elements, and that is another aspect of Malkuth. Then we go into the Sephira that's there and not there, and that's Da'ath, which is knowledge, abyss, secrets, lessons yet to be realized. It's a symbol of Pluto. This is a you could say it's the death card and the devil card in the major tarot. It mixed together is how I would interpret that one. You have the different paths. There are 11 or 12, 10 Sephira, 11 if you count the Da'ath, and there are 24 paths of wisdom. So they're all the different connecting lines from this one. And that's where you get into your other aspects of the tarot, because that's your life lesson cards. But they've got the path, the Fool, the Magician. They actually attribute all of them to their proper tarot. That is amazing, because that's where you're at as you go through the tarot. So this is a major arcana set. Is that the next? Yep, that is all major arcana, and it goes through the different paths, the different acknowledgments, the different aspects, all the way up to the universe and the world. So you get the Kabbalah deck, and then you get the major arcana deck, which is kind of nice, because then you can actually work with these cards to help understand more about yourself spiritually and help you grow beyond the basics. This deck, like I said, caught my attention because it is such a powerful map of your life. It is not a simple map. It is extremely complicated. I mean, you can do the base meditations through all 10 Sephira. That's fine. You get an idea of what they mean, how they work. But to really sit down and process what each one means as an individual Sephira unto itself, and then you start to understand how it connects with those closest to it, it changes a lot of how you respond to yourself and to the spiritual world, which is why this was a deck that I wanted to get my hands on when I found it. The guidebook is its usual little guidebook. Basics of the Tree of Life, what is Kabbalah, symbolisms. Then this one actually is a diagram of the Sephiras with all the tarot in, which is the lines. So you can see how they all connect. Each, and that's where Da'ath is, right there in the center. Each card connects to other Sephiras. So like Malkuth is connected to Yesod and Hod and Netzach, but it doesn't connect beyond that because it's 3 connecting points. Tifereth is the most busiest of the Sephiras, because it's connected to everything around it except Malkuth. From Earth, the earthly kingdom, you cannot access the heart. You have to go through Yesod to get to Tifereth. So you go through this, what it means, the basics of the Sephiroth, so you can get an idea of their generals in the little book here. And then it goes through some reading, how to read different energies, your 3-card spread, your basic Celtic cross. Then there's a Tree of Life spread, which might do that one these days, just to get a little more definition there. But it's all about understanding more of yourself, and not from the aspect of the standard tarot, which is important when you're dealing with the Kabbalah, the way it's been brought forward anyway, but understanding it as an energy source unto itself. Because when you look at things like the pillar of, the pillar of severity is what I was looking for there. It's Bina, Gabora, and Hod, the 3 Sephiroth that are in it, or Sephira. It's understanding strength and splendor. They run down the left of the card, but when your back is to the card, they run down the right of your body. So your right side is your side of severity, basically. And when you look at it from that perspective, that's your aggressive side. That's the masculine side. That's the projective side. But the pillar of mercy is the more feminine side, the left-hand side of the body. And it's more feminine, receptive, more willing to grant you a second chance. The pillar of severity, no. This is where you get knocked upside the head because you weren't paying attention in class. The pillar of mercy is the person going, honey, it's okay, come on, let's go do this. But the middle pillar, and that's where a lot of people get trapped on, in general, is because you're balancing the 2 energies, but you need to understand both energies to move forward. And I like the way that they have this set up, so you can see the full Tree of Life as your base card. But you can also work the middle pillar energies. You also can see the pillar of mercy, and then the pillar of severity. And it even shows the astrological signs with it, as well as the more specific ones as masculine, feminine energies. When you walk the middle pillar, that's the part where you start to understand, and I'm curious to get more into this deck, but when you walk the middle pillar, you understand that every person balances masculine and feminine energies. It's just which one is more forward than the other one. Doesn't mean one's right or wrong. It just means a male is going to have more masculine tendencies usually, and a woman's going to have more feminine usually. But that doesn't mean they don't overlap, and that's that middle pillar of understanding those balances. So, but then it goes through the different spiritual triangles, what those stand for in this little book here, giving you an overall guideline, and these are ways to read the cards as well. So it's not just, oh, this is good knowledge. It helps you understand the cards, basics of the elements, and then it goes through all of the arcana, which is the paths of knowledge. So overall, I think this is going to be a fun deck to use. Like I said, I personally I'm kind of obsessed with certain kinds of the occult, and this is one of them, that I was very eager to get my hands on this when I saw it, because it shows the image and the concepts with each path. The Hermit, spiritual guidance, commitment, and a way shower. That's quite a ways up on the tree. But then you also move into the path of the devil, truth, illusion, and trust. And they've got some old school styles here mixed with some new. There's a Mary Jane leaf in that picture. When I held it up, I saw it right there. Eye of Horus. There's a lot of symbols in that. That's pretty cool. And then you move into Judgment. It's a phoenix rising from the ashes, but you still have that Pluto energy. So there's secrets being revealed, and it says fortitude, renewal, truths revealed. Pluto is a transformative planet, and that's plays out very heavily when you start getting into Kabbalah, because in the more modern world, Pluto is a planet, isn't a planet, but in this deck it looks like it's going to be playing a pretty dominant part, which is pretty cool. So I just figured if you guys are interested in a new deck, that's an awesome magician. This might be a fun one for you. It'll be linked in the description if you're interested, but it might start showing up in some of our monthly or mid-month readings. I haven't quite decided where I'm going to use this one yet. I want to get a little more familiar before I start using it, but I think it's going to be a fun one to add in, just to take spiritual stuff to a little bit more of a deep level. With that, I will let you guys go. If you're interested, or if you've used this deck, please comment below and let me know what your thoughts were if you've used it before. Otherwise, and I'll do a mock reading. This one, I don't feel that would be appropriate, and I'm not sure why, so we'll just go with those initial gut feelings. But if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, subscribe if you're new here. With that, we'll talk to you guys in a future video.